So I know that you feel reassured about that.
Is this too much?
I don't think so.
This is like a Christmas hedge.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a Christmas hedge.
I'd like to thank our friends at Smith's Marketplace who decided that it was time to decorate because they were displeased with their set.
Yeah.
And they also received these, which I can't help but feel are rather magnificent. No, they're very
Give me the other one. No, they're annoying. This is why Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Right? That's why.
You're just jealous that they didn't have any for your big feet. That's all.
All right.
Whatever.
Let's, do you want to, oh. We went out last night, and we went to this place we've been telling you about. And I was going to show you a little bit. I'll show you more. Guy named Frosty, and this is what he does to his yard every Christmas.
We love him.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's crazed.
All right.
He's completely
I'm going to
crazed.
show you behind the scenes.
Really?
You know those old school plastic Santa Clauses? The old school ones.
He's got like a ton of
The
those.
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
He's got over 100 of those. He has a whole storage area he uses to...
I had no idea that was a...
Sure. Maybe that's a hedge.
It is fine. Relax. Stop patting that.
All right. What is that called?
That's a poinsettia.
A what?
A poinsettia?
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 Poinsettia. Poinsettia.
Potato?
Virginia.
Are you really
Okay.
going to make this an issue today? With
No.
all the other issues that we have today, this will also be an issue?
Morning mountain cam. Are the mountains still there?
I do hope so.
Snowboard had to close down.
I know, they don't have enough snow. They were like, big Thanksgiving unveil. Never mind. It was very
What
sad.
do they do with their lift operators?
Brought to you by Brio Technologies, your experts in lighting and sound and video.
What do they do with them?
Everyone just goes, I know that the skeleton crew stays up, and then I think some of them go on half pay, and the others are like, we're really sorry.
But where do the boarders stay if they don't have a girlfriend? In their car.
You know that joke, right?
What's that?
How do you meet a snowboarder?
How?
Sorry, dude, didn't see you. What do you call a snowboarder without a girlfriend?
What?
Homeless.
Yeah.
It's true.
Oh.
All right. I don't even know.
Are we going to say it?
Let's start with.
Just say it.
Let's start with Matt Lauer. I cannot freaking believe this.
Fired.
How does this even happen? Is there one man in a position of power who's not a complete jerk? I mean, I'm really beginning to lose some faith here.
Except I have no power.
That's why, well, even if you did have power, you would still be wonderful and you wouldn't treat people badly.
I would use it for good and not evil.
Well, apparently there was a warning because the New York Times has been been working on a story about him for a really long time. And it was up to the point where it was just going to be devastating. It was like, boom, it was there.
My whole question on this was, why aren't these people fighting back? Because it's an allegation. Oh, he did this, and people start looking at the victim, which you can't do. And then all of a sudden the person resigns. You know why they resigned in Matt Lauer's case? They had detailed information, documentation, and that's why he left, because they knew they would not survive this.
And they literally fired him like 3 or 4 hours ago. And the thing that was so sad, they said, we have excellent reason to believe this was not an isolated case. And it essentially, I guess, it fired a shot over the bow because they had gotten word about the New York Times article. And they had fired his booker, the guy who works for him, who books celebrity guests, for sexual misconduct. So it was kind of like that first warning sign that something was going to happen. But I did feel terrible for the women anchors because they're like, they were really honest. They said, the guy I know I really love, the guy I've worked with for like 20 years, I really love this guy. And she said, but on the other hand, now I find out about a female colleague that finally had the guts to come forward and talk about this. And she goes, I don't know what to feel anymore.
She said she's proud of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's what she said.
She was incredibly supportive, and I was very proud about that. But it does have to be devastating if you had no idea, although I
keep hearing that.
I'm sorry, but any organization I've ever worked in media, you always knew. I'm sorry, but you always knew which ones were the ones. You did. I mean, there were certain people you just stayed away from. You knew who it was. So it's kind of hard for me to believe this is a huge shock, but it makes me very sad.
Who's next? Should we start a pool?
Well, first of all, President Trump tweeted out about it today.
Do we have a picture?
He was thinking maybe some support for the victim, or
right.
Like I'm glad she was brave. Do we have that? What did Trump have to say about Matt Lauer's firing? I think you guys had the tweet, right?
Yeah. Well, while they're getting that, no support. No support.
The tweet is huge. It's still loading.
Okay.
Not to worry. Not to worry. But in any case, Yeah, there's been a lot of, so there's, interesting that, again, it's everything you talk about, the fact that everyone's waiting for the next shoe to fall, and who's the next person and who's the next person.
There we go.
Wow, Matt Lauer just fired from NBC for inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace, but when will the top executives at NBC and Comcast be fired for putting out so much fake news? Wow, thank you for that support for the victim.
Right.
And it's great that you could make this about you.
Right.
So, again,
Anyway. So
It's like-
how many people are shaking their boots right now? How many people who aren't in the media are shaking in their boots right now and are settling things but still staying in power in a major company as a CEO?
that I believe. That's what I'm wondering. How many people are actually just trying to keep this quiet and get it wrapped up so it's not an issue?
How many people in a filter manufacturing plant in Salt Lake City has the foreman, the shop guy, manager, being called into HR? And are they paying attention to the women or the men who are making these allegations?
Well, I'm really
All
hoping,
the way down to 7-Eleven.
I'm hoping so, because I had some real issues with Salt Lake City Fire Department because they actually demoted their first female fire battalion chief because she did a whistleblower on some sexual misconduct behavior in her region, and all of a sudden she got demoted. And
Yeah.
there was some, and so she actually filed a lawsuit. So there's some issues about that of why there would be a sudden demotion after she started this.
I think those times are
This
changing.
investigation. And you're
Well,
right,
I'll
though.
tell you
It's back
what.
to nobody argues. They just go away.
Women are going to lead the way. There you go.
Thank you for not being one of those guys. And most of you aren't. That's the thing I'm saddest about. Most of you are really wonderful, amazing guys who would never think about doing something like this.
Good for you.
And I'm sure you probably feel like at this point, all men are considered evil, and you just feel depressed and frustrated. But no, we know that you're a good.
It makes
you're
us
good
more
people.
attractive.
Yes, it does, because you're a good and decent man.
That and vacuuming. We should talk about the Grammy
This is
nominations.
true.
coming up.
Oh man, you know what was interesting is about. Do you want to do Grammy nominations or Christmas lights?
No, we're going to
first?
skip that over and go to Grammys.
Oh, we're not doing Christmas.
Follow
lights?
me.
Okay.
I'm going the right direction. Eh.
That doesn't fill me with any confidence at all. You know
I know,
that, right?
it's okay.
Okay, you know what was interesting is not who actually got nominated, but who got snubbed. I mean, like Ed Sheeran, he had a killer year,
And he's a little leprechaun.
yeah, and Taylor Swift, she had a whole new album talking trash about boys that she's tortured and dated.
Always has worked in the past.
This is so, and that's a good formula for her. But neither one of them got nominated, which was a shock. Redbone with Childish Gambino.
Wow.
Despacho, these are all record of the year.
Right.
Story of OJ from Jay-Z. Humble from Kendrick Lamar. 24 Magic from Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
And then album of the year, Childish Gambino again, Jay-Z, Kendrick Lamar.
Bruno Mars.
The only one that was kind of exciting, Melodrama from Lorde. So at least Lorde got something. And,
Right.
and she's wonderful. She's a great writer. She's so creative. And then 24 Magic from Bruno Mars. So, yeah, it was just interesting. Not so much as who got nominated, but who didn't.
And
I
not
mean, some big
necessarily pop stuff.
Yeah.
You know, little different, little
Quite a bit different, yeah.
more intense and
Yeah,
well, I
Bruno
don't
and-
music like.
Yeah, Bruno Mars and Lorde are technically really the only two that actually go into that
Right.
the pop side of it.
'Cause I'm all
and no
about the-
country at all.
I'm all about the bass. Novelty songs I do like. No country at all. Taylor Swift. No, Shania Twain, right?
Shania Twain doesn't
Are we
play
going to
on
watch?
albums anymore.
Does anybody watch?
The Grammys?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big one. They get great numbers still.
They do it on demand or they do it live?
It's live,
I would watch it on demand later,
just on principle.
just on principle.
You can't force me to watch it when you want me to. I'll watch it when I want to. Something like that.
Coming up, there is a Tell Me Something Good. And I got to tell you, it makes me sad because we should be doing some of this anyway.
I think this is something everybody's gone through, and that's why it surprises me that it's not more widespread.
But when you get to see it and witness it, you go, oh, I should be doing that. That's coming up. With information first.
Yeah, let's go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Utah Credit Approval. Utah Credit Approval knows bad things happen to good people. They can still get you into a reliable automobile and help you repair your credit. Just give them a call at 801-921-9819. Also by Intermountain Healthcare. Now, this is, of course, we're talking about that Intermountain AltaView clinics that are just opening. And when I say clinics, there's actually 22 of them in one building, and it covers the entire family for pretty much anything. And then, of course, also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air, where our friend John is offering a $69 special to come in, check your furnace, make sure everything is safe, that it's working efficiently. He can save you hundreds of dollars by making your furnace work at top efficiency. Give him a call, or you can contact him at allutahplumbing.com. Daisy, my dear, what's going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Hello, everyone. Here's what's making headlines Wednesday, November 29th on GebhardtDaily.com. Police are searching for 2 people in their investigation into a suspicious death at a Salt Lake City motel Tuesday morning. The female victim was found around 8:40 a.m. in a room at the Gateway Inn on North Temple Street. Salt Lake police say 26-year-old Christy Marie Hansen and 29-year-old Javier Rodriguez Pena are considered persons of interest in the case. Anyone with information on their whereabouts is asked to call police. A Layton teen is facing first-degree felony murder charges in the fatal shooting of a 19-year-old Sunset man. Seth J.D. Carreras, 17, will be tried as an adult in the November 21st shooting death of Hunter Woodson. According to a probable cause statement filed Tuesday, Carreras shot Woodson multiple times after Woodson sold him spice, which he had passed off as marijuana. Carreras is scheduled for his first court appearance Wednesday in 2nd District Court in Farmington. And Donald Trump will be in Utah on Monday, reportedly to announce size reductions to the Bears Ears and Grand Staircase Escalante national monuments. The White House confirmed last month that Trump would visit Utah in December, and sources close to the White House have said he will follow the recommendations of Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke to reduce the size of the protected areas. At least 5 Native American groups plan on protesting Trump's visit, which will actually take place in Salt Lake City. Trump has no plans to visit the monument sites and will only be in town for a few hours. And now let's take a look at our Wasatch Front weather report, brought to you by our exquisite new sponsors at Brio Technologies, Utah's #1 audiovisual specialists. You can expect dry weather to continue as we head towards the weekend, with a chance of precipitation near 0. High temperatures will remain in the upper 40s and into the lower 50s. Overnight lows will hover in the low 30s and upper 20s. That's it for now. For more local headlines 24/7, go to GebhardtDaily.com. And Todd and Erin, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John, over at All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Just talked to him yesterday, by the way, hanging out as we do. And we were talking about the fact that we've had cold days. You know, it's been 67 degrees, and suddenly, you know what, cold snap. And what they're looking at is starting to get some calls to a point where if you want them to come out and look at your furnace, $69, and they're going to go through the whole thing with all the magical toys and electronic gizmos. And they're going to tell you where it sits. How are you doing? $69. Other people are out like, come out for a nickel. It doesn't work that way. They're going to come out and actually crawl inside and make sure. Plus, they have this great deal. And if you're thinking about upgrading because your furnace is crap, they've got a deal right now with your furnace and your AC because they work together anyway. And you can replace those. And he's got thousands and thousands of dollars off. If you want more information, just go to their website at allutahplumbing.com. There is so much going on. Let's do Tell Me Something Good.
All right, let's start with that because I do love this oh so dearly.
All right.
And here's the thing. I know why people don't do this more, and so I want to defend it, but explain
You
this.
want to do this?
If you want.
Well, let me set her up. There's a woman, a mom, in a parking lot. Kids are freaking out. And this couple are walking like, oh my gosh. And they start walking towards her going, you know, is there anything I can do? Suddenly, boom, the cops show up.
Which is all you need. It's like, oh, great, okay.
Arrest me. Leave the kids here, please. So the
Get
cop...
some sleep. Well, here's the thing. Every one of us has been in this position, and if you haven't, you've seen it happen. And I think 90% of us go, I wish I could help. And you don't know how, and you know that the parent is just horribly embarrassed. You and I have been in this position oh so many times when you have children melting down. And this poor mom had the baby's screaming, and then the toddler, of course, is lying there on the parking lot, the boneless chicken pose, where
Yes.
they're just
Yeah.
protoplasm.
The cop went over.
Well, there's a police officer. So this nice girl, Madison, and her roommate who were walking into the superstore smiled and kind of thought, well, maybe we could help. Then we saw a cop get out of his patrol car and walk up to the mom. He said, can I help? and he took the toddler's hand, and we watched as they walked into the grocery store. The police officer fetched a cart for the mom, and then got the kids in and all settled, and started cheering up the little boy, got everybody chill so that they could breathe, and then later, as they were going towards checkout. Oh man, this has got to.
So the little kid has grabbed a toy and it says, "Mom, can we get this?" And the mom's like, "No, we can't actually get it right now."
She's trying to smile. She says, "I'm sorry, we can't get that today."
Loses it
because you know that there's no, obviously this is a budget. So the child's bawling again,
and you know what? All it takes is no nap, and everyone's angry.
Oh, geez. And so the same police officer from the parking lot walks up and asks the teller, "Do you really want the toy?" And this child is just still crying his eyes out. And he goes, "Yeah." And he looked at the mom for permission, and she was overwhelmed again. And so the police officer went by, picked out the toy, and then he went over to the grocery cart. And the police officer not only paid for the toy, he paid for the entire grocery cart.
Boom.
Because it's obviously a super single mom who's under an incredibly tight budget because we know how expensive children are. So O'Brien couldn't stand it. She took a picture of the exchange and posted it to Facebook, and that's where it just went viral. But it's the Kennesaw Police Department, and they identified the wonderful cop as Officer Matt Wilson.
Nice
He's worked
job,
at the
Matt.
station for over 10 years. And here's the thing that I love so much about this. The police officers don't make a boatload of money. We
True.
all know that.
True.
And so for this man to not only reach in and pay for the toddler, but to buy her entire grocery cart worth of supplies
that was more important than the toy.
Well, symbolically the toy was more important because it shows that he understood. But then he took the mom out, got all the groceries loaded, got the kids settled, and then drove off. See, this is everything that I live for, these kinds of stories, because when we have to start with awful, god-awful stories of people being horrible, I live for Tell Me Something Good, because it's that one moment I'm like, okay, this is going to redeem my faith in humankind. And once again, Officer, you did. So thank you so much, Officer Matt Wilson. That was amazing.
It makes you want to go out and do something right now.
And it is a big deal. I think most people want to offer, but it's like I've seen moms like this, and I'm like, I want to go, hey, can I pick that up for you, or can I hold one of the kids? And I'm always scared that I'm gonna.
Oh no!
She's gonna lash at me and go, "Shut up," or something. You know
try
what I
being
mean?
a guy doing that because you're like.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I get you a cart? Can I?
Shall I stand carefully back 5 paces while assisting you?
You're not gonna. Yeah, you're not gonna have me hold your baby. Although I'm really good at it.
I did have.
So you're like, what do I do?
I was at Costco with the gigantic card of death, because you all get the gigantic card of death of stuff.
Yeah.
And McClaney got hurt, and he was crying. And this mom and her son came over, and they just loaded everything in the back of the car for me and got Zachy in his car seat.
Yeah.
While I was sitting on the lawn with McLean, and I have never forgotten that woman. But it is, I think you want to, and so I'm going to try to get out of my comfort zone and see if I can do it in the nicest way, because we'll have plenty of opportunity.
The best one I did was at a Home Depot, and moms are freaking out, and the mom I see running down the plumbing aisle towards me, right? And there's a 3-year-old sitting on the toilet, pooping, and she's got 2 kids in her cart. And she's like, "Johnny, no!" And so she was like, "Oh!" And so she's like, I took this, got it out of her purse, and got it. And how I helped, I shut the lid, and we went our separate ways. If you notice at Home Depot, they don't have the toilets on the floor anymore that you can try them out.
That's probably for
They're
the best.
like 10 feet in the air.
Yeah, it's probably for the best, because I'm pretty sure that's not the only one that's happened to.
Probably not. Erin's been up for 6 nights. She's a little grouchy because she's been putting together the exhaustive list.
Bloody stumps. I've been typing down 2 bloody stumps.
Christmas houses you need to see.
Well, no, this is all the big ones all along the Wasatch Front, each county. But then there's always the enthusiastic amateurs, like Frosty, we've told you about, in our neighborhood. There's always a couple that are like just epic. They're big time. And you got to love these guys. You got to respect them. So
here's a question. We drove over to, because it is kind of early for some people, we went over to Christmas Street.
Yeah,
Christmas
over in Sugar
Street,
House.
In Sugar House. And Christmas Street, they have a big sign that says Christmas Street.
So it's Christmas
It
Street.
wasn't there. It's a dead end with a circle at the end. And you drive down with your lights off, and you turn around and you come back. And all the houses are laid out, and they're so pretty. And the problem they have is they're not all lit yet.
Well, it is not the first. Traditionally, that is the kind of like, the starter pistol date to make sure you got all the lights going.
So they're
We're just lucky that Frosty is a psychopath and he had everything going for us, like
You'll see
September,
You'll
so.
see the magnificence of that at the end of the show.
And it really is magnificent. No, I mean, there's some that are really obvious. The down in Utah County, Spanish Fork Festival of Lights, the Christmas light cruise on the Provo River. We've done this with our Halloween cruises. Remember?
Do this.
It is really, really, really fun.
This. Pete, do this.
Because you wouldn't expect it. They say hit the FiberNet building in Orem. They say that it's just east of University Mall, and they add crazy amounts of lights every year.
Nice.
Salt Lake County, Temple Square. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
grand mama jamma. I mean,
Yeah.
we all know that. Although I was a little surprised this year.
Are we going to say that?
A little bit.
Okay.
No, it's exquisite. I mean, you're never going to top this
City
place.
Creek Center was lit up more than this.
Well, I think it's...
They cut back after
And Gateway was beautiful, too.
they eliminated after 9/11. They eliminated the countdown. They took that out. At some point, I remember them reducing their lights, but those huge cottonwood trees used to be lit, and
Is it cost-cutting, or is it like not drawing...
no, I think it's
much
cost
light,
cutting.
or-
I mean, the lights that are floating in the reflecting ponds are gorgeous. They're gorgeous.
It's all beautiful.
And everyone loves it. And that infinity fountain that they have, the two of them, really pretty. But yeah, still a cool place.
You know, I don't know if you've ever done this. Todd and I bring the kids Candlelight Christmas at This Is the Place State Park. So it's not all the big shiny stuff, but it was so much fun. Do you remember the year we went? We took the kids and they taught us
There you
painting
go.
dances.
They're right there.
And it was really funny. Todd and I we got into it to the point where we actually went back and we got a babysitter for the kids so we could go back and actually dance properly. But it was really cool.
Picture all the old cabins that they have up there and the candles in the windows. And it looks like, I mean, what a great place for photos, by the way, if you're doing family shots and stuff. But really, really cool.
And obviously, lights at Gardner Village. The Tree of Life in Draper City is just absolutely gorgeous.
Is that monster tree?
Now, the plucky non-professionals always, the Christmas Treat and Sugar House, that's a given. Frosty's Winter Wonderland, that's our personal favorite. That's at 805 East and 18th Avenue, if you want to try that.
We were driving the other day. We saw like a 10-foot menorah. It was so awesome. This
middle
huge
of everything.
blue menorah on someone's front yard. It was great.
All right, and this one's really sweet. Lights on Wakefield. We're going to talk more about this
What is that?
tomorrow, but they raise money for Mascot Miracles Foundation. That's for pediatric cancer.
Okay.
So they even do like all of the music coordinated with the lights, and you can tune your radio to 87.9. That's 6388 South Wakefield Way. But it's kind of important this year because of the fundraising, and we'll explain later. Tooele, Clark Historic Farm is really, really cool.
All right.
And then up in Davis County, Layton City Lights in the Park is awesome.
Told you it was an exhaustive list.
I told you, I'm tired. Weber County, it's the Ogden's Christmas Village. Free admission, you can meet with Santa. It's always really fun. This one is one of our personal favorites. Box Elder County, Fantasy at the Bay. Willard Bay. Explain that, how awesome it is.
So you go there, and it's freezing but cold, and you get everybody dressed up and stuff, and then a horse comes by with a wagon, and everybody gets on the wagon, and instead of driving through a park with all the lights going, they have the music going, but you're on a horse wagon.
Now
And you're just kind of clomping along. And last time, and they only work on tips.
Yeah, and you can drive through if you want, but the wagon is so cool. And
Much better.
the reason the farmer who drives the wagon did it that way, he says, it's free, I just work for tips, is because he'd seen too many kids who said, Mom, can I do it? That's so... And
Right.
they said, we don't have, $4 or
Another,
$5
yeah.
a person. And he hated that.
Right.
So this is why we always wildly overtip
Isn't
when
the
we
whole
do it
thing
on
free?
principle. Yeah,
The whole thing is free. Mm-hmm. And the horses, you got to have horses.
it really makes it so much better.
If we can find a place that does sleigh rides with the snow and stuff,
If you want to
so much fun.
If you want to go to our Facebook page, you can head over there, and we've got the complete list there. You can find all the ones that are close to you. I almost like the enthusiastic amateurs more than the professional ones now, just
like
because they're
those.
like, we're crazed, we can't help ourselves, but it's awesome.
Oh, people on Facebook, if you have a thing that you do and a favorite place that you go, or like the Bay, the thing at Willard Bay is so cool, something different, go ahead and post it on Facebook. We'll take a look and we'll make sure that everybody gets to see it. This story is sad.
What?
Mom's kid was getting bullied.
Oh, this is awful.
And so who wants that? No one. So what do? You go to the principal. You sit down with the principal and you say, listen. And Fortunately, a lot of these places kind of been brushing this stuff off years past.
This is my town. This is Norfolk, Virginia.
Yeah.
I lived there for years and years. I know Ocean View Elementary. I used to go volunteer there all the time. Her mom, the mom here, is a student at Norfolk State University, which was 3 blocks from my house. And so you've got a full-time student mom. You've got a daughter who's being bullied, and she didn't want to talk to her mom much about it. She was not getting any answers back from the administration.
I think I would have done this too. So what she did is she took a digital recorder and she put it in the kid's backpack. The backpack goes under her desk, and so it was recording.
You're thinking maybe I can get some audio of what the heck is going on here.
I'm gonna find out who little punk butt is messing with my kid, and then I'll have evidence and stuff like that. Now, there is a rule in Utah as well as Virginia, which is called.
It's first party. It's the one-party law, meaning that as long as one person involved in the exchange
in the conversation
knows that it's being recorded,
Right.
it is legal. There are some states where it is not legal. Both parties have to be aware.
She is facing felony charges because.
And endangerment of a child.
Well, so she put the recorder in the backpack. The backpack then went away. She was not in the recording.
Is that how they did it?
She's now a third party. She's not involved in the conversation. Now, this is what she was arrested for, also for the endangerment.
How was she endangering her child?
Making your kid involved in something illegal, maybe? I don't know. So they're still working on it. Prosecutors.
This pisses me off, though, because the school, instead of calling her and going, tell us why you're doing this, they immediately called Norfolk police, who, of course, came over. And then they started with all the felony charges. I think that it's not going to... I think the DA is going to pull back because it's like, really? You're going to charge her with felony charges because she was trying to help her kid?
She could get 5 years, which she won't. But once again, it draws attention to the school. It draws attention to bullying, which is good. Mom had to go through some tough stuff, but they're gonna drop charges.
I don't get the endangerment of a child. That makes more sense now because I knew it was there was a one-party notification. But you're right. She's not there.
Right.
That makes more sense now. But it's really, that's like, you're going to really charge a woman with felonies for trying to find out who's bullying her child? That's your solution. That's actually your solution.
As opposed to going on a wedgie spree.
I mean, well, yeah, but we've all seen stories of parents who lose it and they like actually threaten or hurt the bully.
Or the parents.
And it's like, nothing seems to happen there, but this woman was actually using a rather ingenious way to try to get to understand what was happening. And she gets a felony charge for it.
Right. All right, so I want to address something on Facebook right away.
Okay.
We will not be bribed with fudge, Deborah.
We won't?
Deborah, no.
I'm totally prepared.
No, if we're talking about the Christopher Steakhouse, because we want to say thank you for joining us every morning. Or every night, or in your underwear. Don't do that.
Weekend binge, we don't care.
We don't care. But Christopher's, we're giving away a beautiful dinner for 4, and you can go there and...
There's no better time, a holiday
relax.
dinner, and then you can walk around afterwards and look at all the lights and giggle and
oh my gosh.
Talk. I mean, that's the best part, I think, for everybody I've talked to from the feedback that's come back, is they said, I hadn't seen these friends forever, or this was my roommate from college and we hadn't talked, or it was our 2 kids, and because we're all adults now, we never actually get to connect anymore. And that was the part that I loved. I mean, the food is spectacular, but just hearing everybody talk about the fact that it was that one magical moment they got back with someone they loved and they had a connection again.
All right, I've changed my mind about the fudge. We will take the bribe. We can't do anything about it.
We don't select the winner, so that doesn't help us.
But we will take that fudge. My preference is the light tan one. What's that?
Butterscotch?
No, peanut butter. Yeah.
Ugh, you can have it all.
Hey, coming up, Facebook has just added something. I know you're going, oh, is it the duck faces? No. Is it the little thing? No. Does the video go up in the left-hand corner? No. It's something else. And actually, it kind of ties into all the kids and some of the tragedy with suicide going on in the nation.
Can save a few lives.
We're going to tell you next.
Todd and Erin's Morning Stream, brought to you by Utah Credit Approval. Bad things happen to good people, helping you on the road to good credit with just the right car. Go to utahcreditapproval.com or call them at 801-404-7201. Also brought by Columbus Travel. Columbus Travel has an epic sale on cruises through the 21st of October. You can get a hotel and everything you can imagine just for less than the price you would of simple airfare. You have to talk to them first at columbusvacations.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Listen, your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com.
Apply today and drive away.
I'm just kidding. It's John with All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Give us a call so that you don't get coal delivered.
That's what it is.
All right, welcome back to the Todd and Erin morning stream. I'm so tired of having a cold. All right, Facebook.
This has not been a fun fall for you health-wise. This, I think, is absolutely wonderful, and there were already endless complaints, but go with this first.
This is new, right?
This is a new artificial intelligence. Facebook's calling it proactive detention. It's artificial intelligence technology that scans all posts for patterns of suicidal thoughts. Now, there's a certain level of algorithm that shows escalation or
Right.
shows increased intensity of these emotions or these problems or these posts.
Is this going off of like word combinations?
Yeah, it's based on phrasing, word combinations, even photos, even the kind of photos that you're using.
Wow.
And what they're finding though is that they use AI to flag these posts, and then instead of waiting for user reports, what they're doing is they send out notification to mental health professionals and to say, can you check in on this person? Because in the past they have seen really dramatic stories of people who said, I'm going to commit suicide, and then friends of this person on Facebook are like, can you help us find him? Can you help us pinpoint where they are and what's going on? But they're saying the proactive detection is going to make a huge difference.
So who do they contact though? Who does Facebook contact, and does that person then go and contact this person directly?
A couple of different things. There's one where there's more moderators who have been training into suicide prevention, and then they're also using 80 local partners like Save.org, National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, Forefront, so that they can get the resources for the at-risk users and their networks. But Guy Rosen, who's the VP of Product Management, he was really cool. He said it's about shaving off minutes at every step of the process, especially in Facebook Live.
Right.
And it was amazing. They said over a 1 month of testing, they initiated more than 100 wellness checks with first responders visiting the affected users. And there's cases where they've arrived where the person is still on and preparing to self-harm. And
So they
just literally stopped it
they
before
knock
seconds.
on the door?
Sometimes, or they call. There's different ways that it works.
Wow.
And a lot of
So
people
people
started
are complaining because invasion.
Oh yeah, they're immediately complaining. They go, "Yeah, this is dystopian, and now you can like track my moods." And they're like, "Look, guys, we're not trying to focus on any of your other things. We don't care. We're just trying to see if there's people that we can stop." And the algorithm, the AI comes to a certain intensity level. You have to be at a point, and there are people who have Facebook Live where they've actually attempted to commit suicide on Facebook. Yeah, this is what we're looking at. We're not looking at if you had a bad day.
They got to refine it, though. They got to refine it because, I mean, we have a crazy amount of friends, and not real friends, just Facebook friends. You put up with us. And every once in a while, some will show up on our page and kind of go, I kind of had it, you know, and you see their friends kind of chime in. Like they might have a history of an issue, and are you taking your meds?
Mental
and
health
you're
issues.
Like, okay, and then it's like private message, you know, that they're hopefully taking care of them.
Well, and that's what I think is kind of interesting. And they've actually used some of the online friend networks as well. People, once again, through the algorithm, who they see interacting with that person daily,
Right.
Maybe family members, and they might send a message or a note to them as well.
Right.
Now, I do know that there are issues of privacy that people might be considering, but I'm sorry, if you're on Facebook Live or you're broadcasting and you're talking about suicide,
Right.
I'm not as worried about privacy concerns at that point.
That's
I want
true.
someone to go and check on you.
That's true. And you know what? Every time the suicide hotlines come up on your feed, share them. Just keep sharing them.
Yeah,
and
there's
do
a
that.
reason for it. Yeah.
You know what's next? Because evidently all our friends are injured. Because Lord knows we see enough injuries, pictures of your injuries, close-ups of your injuries. If they put something enacting something like this on Facebook, as far as medical issues, there'd be an ambulance at 30,000 houses on Thursday night.
Everyone has a goiter. Everyone.
Its name is Ned. I gotta say something about Facebook. Facebook is ruining Christmas.
What are you talking about?
What's my favorite thing about Christmas?
I'm not sure.
The surprise. I like the surprise. I like the fact that
Your gifts. Okay.
I can, like we said yesterday, I can walk through a room when the kids are wrapping my presents
Spectacular self-control.
up
it really
here,
does.
not down here, up here, because I like the surprise. And now, Erin and I have been shopping online, and
We're gonna have
all
to
our-
start doing. We're gonna have to start doing anonymous
all
browsing.
the presents that we're both looking at keep showing up.
You know how they attach a cookie and then all of a sudden on all your Facebook feeds you see all of these sudden advertisements for everything you've been looking at?
Well, even in the feed itself, not
Yeah.
just down the right-hand column,
Yeah.
it's showing up because we're looking at this thing for Zoe, and it keeps showing up. And I'm like, oh, there's a surprise down the tubes. And thank you. I'm really looking forward to wearing the catsuit. The other thing we should talk about is the hitchhikers from outer space.
No.
Cosmonauts. They've been in the space station.
International Space Station.
They have, and they found, oh, this is so funny, because one of the cosmonauts, this sounds a little screwy. So he said years ago he was doing a spacewalk outside the station here, and he decided to do some swabbing,
Because you do that. You
like
swap.
CSI.
Like you do.
You pick up some CSI stuff.
Well, space debris is, I mean, it's a very common thing. So, yeah, I mean, it would be an interesting thing to examine, I'm sure.
And they do the inside. They do swabs on the inside to make sure there's not molds that came on board with the guys.
The
And
food or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. And this is weird.
Explain.
Well, years later, the cosmonaut came out and said, we found plankton on the outside.
Okay. Is this intergalactic space plankton?
So with laser beams. If you remember the early flights, like Apollo and Mercury and all that, when they used to come out and they'd get out of the helicopter and they'd land on the aircraft carrier, what'd they do? They put them in an Airstream trailer.
Yeah, detoxed him immediately. Pulled.
With a window, and they put all their three faces in like puppies at the pound.
Can we come out yet?
And they were saying, because we don't know what's out there. So anyway.
Part of that was radiation concerns too, but
Right.
this is okay. I'm sorry. This starts with like the beginning of every in-space horror movie we've ever seen. Like we just saw that one with Ryan Reynolds where they're like, we found some bacteria and we think it's like living, and it's like, yay, it's this happy development, and then all of a sudden, yeah, people are being eaten and their arms and legs are being squished and things. Yeah, that.
So he's made this out there, and he
Don't bring it in there.
they went and asked NASA about it, and they went, yeah, we haven't heard anything about this. So either it's a cover-up
That could be.
brought to us by Illuminati
That could
and
be.
the Flat Earthers and the Knights Templar and
That's
Bigfoot.
pretty much every. Wait, isn't the Illuminati and the Knights Templar the same thing?
I don't know.
I
But
guess it's like
all I know is
Sasquatch and Bigfoot. Nobody can prove it.
Every single Discovery Channel has the Knights Templars and the Illuminati involved in
yeah.
their Discovery shows,
They are.
which is just sad.
I know. I'm just getting a little confused about my secret
Erin
organizations.
Parsons. I'd be Todd Parsons.
I have never used.
How does that make me
I've
feel?
never used my maiden name. I've always used
How
Fraser.
would that make me feel? Evidently, there are actually men who are, I said actually, like, oh, actually, they are actually changing their names to their wife's maiden name. That would be Todd Parsons.
Why?
Just to be different.
I can see that if your husband has like a god awful name and like, or perhaps the
Like-
combination of your name would be deeply unfortunate with his.
Like
but
Wiener. And your name is, never mind. So, hyphenate. Why did you hyphenate your name?
no, I actually tried to stay with Fraser as my professional name, and nobody let me. They immediately switched it to Collard, even on everything professional we did. So
Did
it was
that
like,
make you feel belittled?
at the first, just because I had been so I'd been single for so long, and I was really proud of my status. It was,
You were desperate, and that's why you fell in love with me.
oh yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
No, I had.
Clock
I
was
set,
ticking.
I set my professional name, and I liked it. I liked Fraser, and
Okay.
I thought I could still use it. Like our beautiful niece Brianna Bodley, she doesn't use her husband's last name because she'd already gotten set with her name
professional
professionally as
thing.
Bodley. So.
Right.
So I thought I could do that, but I've never expected you to change your last name to mine. Is this a fad? What's the deal behind it?
Well, they're asking people. They were polled. 57% of people think a married woman should take whichever name she pleases. But then there's hyphenating, and there's all this stuff. And this is funny. In 2009, they had a study online that helps brides organize their names changes. So I'm going to change my name over.
Because there's a certain amount of hassle. You have to go get a brand new driver's license. You have to do all of this crap and switch a lot of things over. Whereas the guy goes, I got married. Yeah. Well, it's true.
82% of women in Canada changed their names within 2 years.
It takes a while.
2 years. That's like, I'm not going to change. I'll see how this thing works out.
I don't think that's why. It just,
I think
like I
so.
said, it's a fairly long process. You have to change your name on all your stuff.
Maybe you have vanity license plates.
No, it's really more federal documents that are most annoying.
And what do you do with your passport?
Change it.
You have to go do it? Okay.
Everything.
Anyway, I
So
have to I think, now that I'm thinking about it, it would be a lot to give up your name. It's not like you're giving up your identity. But
it was never a big deal to me, other than I
Okay.
would have liked to have kept it professionally, but I never really cared.
all right.
But do men consider it emasculating if you don't want to take their last name? My sister Jenny never took Bill's name.
I don't think so.
So
but
that
then
would-
again, you don't have a middle name. So that may be, if you hyphenate it, you would have 3 names. You're the first child, am I correct?
No, I'm the middle child.
All right. How many before you?
3.
3. Do they have middle?
4.
Do they have middle names?
Yes, they all do but me.
Did they get tired?
And my little sisters both have middle names too. I'm the only one that doesn't have a middle name because my parents didn't love me enough.
Dear.
Since we're going in that direction, I thought I would just sluice you right down the
Thank you.
stream-filled river of rage and betrayal, okay?
I find it odd. No, I just find it odd.
I don't know why either. Well, no, but I was even born on my grandmother's birthday, so you would have thought. Like my middle name would be Flora or something, right?
Right.
No,
I'm sorry.
they just didn't love me enough. It's okay.
All right. What's the bug thing about?
Oh, it's so funny. Mac users have always driven me crazy because there's a certain level of smug. Like my sister and my mom are like,
Oh.
well, we're Mac users, so we don't have to worry about viruses.
Sorry if you're a Mac user.
Oh, no, you have another virus. Well, we're Mac users. So
You have a Mac.
we don't have those
Yeah.
things. And I know they're really great and everything.
They are.
But
If
yeah,
I'd started on a Mac, I'd be the same way.
probably.
But because I started the other way, I'm doomed.
Oh no, it looks like now people who are running the latest version of High Sierra on your Mac, it appears that anyone can log in just by putting root in the username field. This is a huge, huge problem. Do not leave your Mac unattended until this is resolved. So I thought that.
Whoa.
So yeah, all you have to do.
can't be right.
Anyone can access your Mac by just writing root in the username and clicking. It doesn't even require a password. It just goes, oh yeah, clunk, goes right into it. Oh no, you have a bug now.
Oh, now you're just being snooty.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I totally want to go over to Jenny's house and just type in root and just leave it open.
And just
to
leave it
figure out
open.
Wonder who's been looking through your files, Jenny.
That's funny.
So in any case, Apple has acknowledged the issue. They say that they are working.
They acknowledged
Yeah,
it.
they're already working on it right away. They say, because once you log in with root, you're essentially authenticated yourself to the computer. And this means that you can add administrators, which is the bad part, change critical settings, lock out the current owner. So
Oh, no.
these are problems.
Oh, my
So
God.
Apple has already said, yes, we're aware there's an issue. We are working on it right away. We're sorry.
2 stories coming up. One, Woods Cross. Woods Cross Police Department going after porch pirates.
Good.
Arg.
Because they drive me nuts.
We'll tell you next.
The The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, you'll find out that you can get a mortgage with a credit score as low as 600. Fink and McGregor, also by the Vein Clinic. If you go to theveinclinic.com, you can schedule an appointment and find out some amazing options for pain-free removal of varicose veins and spider veins. Your legs can look great again with the Vein Clinic. And also by Black Diamond Experts. They're experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. They also have a brand new store up in Ogden now. If you'd like to reach them, you can go to blackdiamondexperts.com.
Hey, it's Todd and Erin, and this is pretty cool.
We are at the Intermountain Alta View Clinic. Now, this is actually 22 clinics, all squooshed together with some amazing specialties. And the nice thing about it is you can take care of everybody in your family all together.
Now, don't touch anything because it's still kind of wet because it's so brand new. Now, they're having the open house, like you said, on December 7th, but they've got some great things. If you go to their Facebook page, what you can do is register there for some great prizes, like movie tickets, like Lower Bowl Jazz tickets, and, Disneyland tickets.
A trip for 4, by the way, and of course, celebrity guests.
Right here, celebrity guests with food, and there he is now, the jolly old soul. How are you doing, Santa?
I'm doing great. I like this place.
Well, you should. It's got something that everyone can use.
Health for the holidays.
That's what we have.
Santa is rather profound.
We'll see you December 7th. Hey, buddy, we're back. Todd and Erin Morning Stream, GetPartDaily.com. Porch Pirates, you vest, you bad.
You know, it
dirty
really
rotten.
it sucks though, because I've seen people whose literally their entire Christmas was stolen off their front porch.
Cars are following. A lot of times they'll control the neighborhood, wait for a package on a stoop, run up, grab it, run away, stolen. Other ones actually follow.
Yeah,
UPS trucks, FedEx.
UPS drivers and FedEx drivers are calling the police all the time, going, "This car has been tracking me for like 3 miles."
So you stay back like 3 blocks. Think of how easy this is. You go. It's during the day. How many people are home? You see it. Neighbors as well. They see the package. Boom, dropped off. Little package, big package, doesn't matter. They run up and grab it and drive off. And you're seeing more and more video of this. And the cameras are getting better and better.
But the trouble is, you still get a camera.
So now you can identify the photo that's taken.
Except for unless there's a match already in the police database, it doesn't do anything.
Or where are you going to put it?
You got a nice clear picture of the guy who just stole your Christmas, but there's still no way to track him down.
Right.
Traditionally, I mean, unless you got like a picture of his license plate at the same time.
Now, some people
You know
have other doors and stuff to their garages, and they are leaving the door ajar. But when they say, please put the package in the garage door, and you put it in the door, and then when you shut the door, it locks. Not a bad idea. So the police department at Woods Cross...
See, I would find this intensely satisfying if I were a police officer.
I would too.
I would be like, yeah, go on.
It's
go on,
Christmas.
take it. Go ahead and try to take it. Do it. I mean, I would.
What you do is when you order your stuff, you have it delivered to the police station. Now, they know this is going to be a lot of work.
That's so nice, because how do you have enough space for all that
They
stuff?
know it's going to be a lot of work.
Excuse me.
And when you do it, when you say, hey, I'm going to get a package, my name is Mary Bagoogle, and here's my phone number. When the Bagoogle package shows up, give me a call. And they said, yes, we will. So you deliver it to the Woods Cross police
really
station.
Nice.
They found a room, I guess, or jail cell. Keep them safe. And they put them in there, and they wait, and every time one comes in, one of the officers is there working, doing a clerical. McGoogle, your package is here. And then you go down and pick it up. You don't have to worry.
Boy, that is really nice.
Isn't it?
That's so above and beyond the Call of Duty that it's just...
And they said they'd be rather meeting their citizens than chasing jerk faces around stealing packages.
That's actually a really good point.
I know, isn't it?
Hi, how you doing? I'm Officer Steve. Hey, is that your kid? Hey, what's your name? Steve too? Oh, that's good. Nice to meet you.
You must be the McGoogles. Here's your package.
You look like a McGoogle.
You look just like your father, McGoogle.
That is so nice,
I know,
though.
right?
That's an incredibly cool thing, because you think about the sheer volume of packages. I'm just trying to figure out how they could even do it. But that's wonderful.
I have the best story of December coming up.
Really?
Yep. Oh, right after information.
Okay, well, let's go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, you will find out that mortgages are indeed made simple. They have a million different options, and you can get a mortgage with a credit score as low as 600. Just go to fink-mcgregor.com. Also, by To Liberate a Man, you can escape adult addiction for good. There is a proven pathway that will help you reclaim your life and your family and your self-esteem. You can go to liberateaman.com for more information. Also, by Black Diamond Experts. They are experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. Brand new place in Ogden now, too. You'll be glad you called an expert. Just go to blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, my dear, what's going on today?
Good morning, Todd and Erin. Hello again, everyone. Here's a look at national and world news for Wednesday, November 29th on GephartDaily.com. It appears the US and North Korea are inching towards armed conflict after North Korea test-fired a powerful ballistic missile Tuesday. The ICBM flew about 600 miles before falling into the sea off the coast of Japan. The Pentagon says the powerful ICBM was capable of reaching virtually any target on the planet, including the US mainland. South Korea responded to the launch with a dramatic live-fire missile exercise off the coast of North Korea, while Donald Trump told the press he would be dealing with the issue. The GOP's attempt to pass new tax legislation cleared a significant hurdle Tuesday when the Senate's version of the plan passed was approved by the Budget Committee. The measure moved ahead on a 12-11 party line vote. The bill now goes to the full Senate for consideration, although the Republicans still appear to be a couple of votes shy of actually passing the legislation. And a country known for stiff upper lips will be known for something else in the days ahead, as England announced Tuesday that Viagra will be available for purchase over the counter. The new British health policy will allow pharmacists to determine whether men 18 or older can purchase the medication. Viagra Connect, as it's called, will be available in a 4-tablet pack and an 8-tablet pack with recommended retail prices of about $26 and $46 respectively. Now you know why it's called Jolly Old England. That's it for now. For more headlines from across the country and around the world, go to GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, Daisy. Okay, Black Diamond Experts, one of the reasons I like these guys, aside from the fact that they really can fix everything in the house, is that they are experts, which means who you get at the door is licensed and bonded and insured. It means that if you need them at 2 o'clock in the morning, they're there at 2 o'clock in the morning, and every one of the employees has some epic, Christmas Eve or early Thanksgiving story about some disastrous explosion or pipe or whatever. So they're there 24/7. But also, they have a brand new place in Ogden now, too, so that gives them even more coverage. If you need them, they are there for you. But the nice thing about this is they also don't mind showing you a few things like preventative measures to make your life easier. It's like, yeah, if you do this or you'll swap out this filter now or you make a little list and you do it the next week, you're going to save yourself a ton of money and you'll be far more energy efficient. They'll go through that with you, which is really nice. So if you want to try them out, this is the name I have on my list of guys. You can just go to blackdiamondexpert.com. They say you will be glad you called an expert, and there is a very good reason for that. Okay, this is very sad. Todd, come here, because the dog treat thing is an issue now.
Okay.
Because this just screwed up everything we're going to get Gil for Christmas. Our dog loves dog bones. He will sit there just obsessively.
He never gets them, though. And here's the FDA.
Well, it's the biscuits.
FDA is Phyto Defense Administration. They actually have a warning out, and it kind of comes out every year. This is actually for the bones you get at the grocery store.
Okay.
And I know people have Great Danes, and they buy a femur. I kid you not. And they have to get it a certain size so it will actually fit inside their stove, their oven. And then they cook it and then let it cool off, and then it's like Great Dane here. And
Here's
a Great
a
Dane goes in the
femur.
backyard and greases everything up. At the store, you can buy bones for your dog, and they're just like little slices of the bone with a marrow. You find those in the frozen section. Or you can go to they have, what are the ones you can see right in the aisles that they have that have been smoked? Femur bones, rib bones, smoky knuckle bones, you've seen those. And the dogs get in there and just, and chew them. The problem is that just like chicken bones, they do fragment.
They splinter, yeah. I mean, I've always known you're not supposed to give dogs chicken bones.
Chicken
but
bones.
I didn't know these big ones.
Well, they said they had 90 dogs involved in this report. 15 of them have passed away. Complications like choking, digestive tract obstruction, cuts to the mouth, vomiting, diarrhea, bleeding from the back end.
That seems like a problem.
And the other thing that they warned, which they
things.
didn't mention, but the Humane Society taught me about this, is the big rawhide bones and stuff?
Yeah.
The same thing about stomach obstructions in their digestive tract. They said the ones that are made compressed little particles are the better ones because that breaks down in the...
You're not swallowing a gigantic chunk of rawhide.
Which can go in and just do something bad to you. So, I know that sounds sad because it's like, giving your dog a bone is like...
The crunchy little dog biscuits are very nice. They like those a lot.
Knick, knack, paddywhack. So there you go.
Oh, by the way, based on our Woods Cross story, Heather wants to know what the correct spelling of Magoogle is.
Oh, the Magoogles.
Well known in Woods Cross, the Magoogle.
M-A-G, you know the rest. My favorite story of December is coming up, and it's going to be incredible, and it's coming up next.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, there's a short 4-minute quiz, and at the end of it, you can find a whole array of mortgage options, and someone will call you back from Fink and McGregor within the next business day. Also by Utah Credit Approval. Go to utahcreditapproval.com because they know that bad things happen to good people, but that shouldn't stop you from repairing your credit and getting a reliable automobile at utahcreditapproval.com. And also all Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. John has 24/7 service because he knows that emergencies can happen any time of the day or night. And right now they have a $69 special to check out all your heating systems to make sure they're working well. Just go to allutahplumbing.com.
Did you know you can buy a house with a 600 credit score?
Really?
We have lenders, we have programs, stuff that's come up in the last couple years. 600.
Wouldn't you have to have like 50% down or something, though?
Nope. 3.5%.
Where would you start the process on this?
Well, Fink and McGregor has a website, 4minutemortgage.com. Just go there, fill it out, up and running.
How long until you get back to us?
1 business day. Whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
Where do you get the down, though, if you're broke?
It can be a gift from family, relative, significant other, even your work.
Gift, huh?
Yeah.
You know what that makes me wish?
What?
Makes me wish I had friends with money.
All right, welcome back to On Erin Show. Yeah, and yes, Nancy on Facebook. I am biting my tongue. I have so many jokes. Daisy told you the story about Viagra gum. So many jokes.
Thank you for trying to restrain yourself just a tiny bit.
Jokes. Maybe later on Facebook, I'll tell you.
Oh, that's good. This is so interesting. Richard, our photographer, actually sent me this story. Over the centuries, Jerusalem's Church of the Holy Sepulchre has suffered attacks, fires, earthquakes.
Right.
It was totally destroyed in 1009, subsequently rebuilt. And then it led modern scholars to question whether it really was the site, possibly, that was identified as the original burial place of Christ.
So we're talking about the tomb with a large round rock.
Well, it's interesting. There's scientific tests now that were provided that appear to confirm that the remains of the limestone cave that is enshrined within the church are the remnants of the tomb that were located by the ancient Romans. Now, it's really interesting. Mortar sample between the original limestone surface of the tomb and then a marble slab that covers it has been dated around AD 345. And then historical accounts say that the tomb was discovered by the Romans and enshrined around 326. So it's really interesting. So what they're saying is they do feel like they have conclusively located this as the original burial place of Jesus. I just thought that was intense.
There is, it's cool, but it seems like there is one every 2 or 3 years because everyone keeps looking and looking and looking.
Well, yeah, but you have to remember this all started with a Roman delegation that came to conclusively try to prove it, and it was obviously back then it was because they wanted to discredit him, not because they were
Right.
hey.
Yeah,
but,
right.
But it was fascinating that it actually started with accounts from what is considered an enemy to Christ, and that they were the ones who actually stated that they had identified the spot. But the fact that you can do all the carbon dating now and you
So
can come back with much more precise
the tools.
determination, that's really, I don't know, there's something very intense to me about that possibility.
That is very cool.
Right? I don't know. Okay.
Prepare yourself for the
ahead.
best story of December. After this, we're not going to do a show through December because how do you top?
It's so good we could never. Okay.
This just in, gangs of aggressive killer whales are shaking down Alaska fishing boats for their fish. Let me read that one more time. Gangs of aggressive killer whales shaking down. So here's the deal. Mm-hmm. Halibut, this is in Alaska, halibut and cod. And so the boats go out, as they always do, and you throw a big buoy out, toink, and then you put a long line with all the hooks on it, and they're all baited. And then it goes up to another buoy, right? And then you go away, and the cod all get on there, and you come back and you pick up the big buoy and you start bringing it in, taking the fish off, putting in a bucket, putting in a bucket. It doesn't work that way anymore because the killer whales are going over and taking the fish off the hooks.
They're like, thanks. That's delicious.
And they used to have sperm whales come in and do it. Huge whales, big square heads, going in there and taking the fish off the hooks. So they started putting noises down.
It's like a nice buffet. Thank you. Oh, trying to freak them out?
Yeah, it just turned into like a dinner bell for them, and they knew where you were.
That's so mean. They're shaking down the fishermen for fish.
But here's the problem. They followed this one guy for 70 miles. Think about this. Boat, I don't know, 20 miles an hour?
Wow.
70 miles. How many hours?
Like 3 or 4.
Chugging
oh my
along?
gosh.
And so think of fuel costs. Think of not catching fish and having to go back to port.
And they're like, we know you're going to drop. Go ahead.
And they don't know what they're going to do.
That's so sad.
And killer whales are so smart.
They really are, unfortunately. They're really smart.
I don't know what they're going to do because they're talking about
Gangs of marauding orca. There's just something about the concept. I know it's bad because it's their livelihood.
Right.
There's just the concept of the orca going, yeah, we know you're going to drop.
And
I'm going to wait. I'm patient. I can wait all day because you're going to drop those nets.
they put cameras on the lines, and they saw the orcas doing this, and then all of a sudden,
Kind of give them the little fin.
yeah, and then the sperm whale came in. This is like what's on Moby Dick, the movie in the book, in the movie, the big square head, huge, and you can see its little mouth coming in, and it's just on the cod. What are you gonna do? They're not gonna leave food. This is like you getting up and walking out of Golden Corral for no apparent reason. It's not going to happen.
It's all you can eat steak night. Screw
You are
I'm
going to
sticking
stay
here, man.
in that booth as long as you can.
Until you literally have to be wedged out of it with a spatula. Yeah.
That one guy goes out and he says he's out there, and when you bring up halibut, they're pretty big, so they're really worth going after.
Oh man, remember we went fishing in Alaska? They're like barn doors.
That's
they're
what
like,
they call them.
They have that much personality too. It's kind of like, I'm a barn door. Here, catch me. But they're huge. So that's a good meal.
This guy had 40 killer whales circling his boat, and he wasn't scared about his safety. He was scared about his fish,
His
not getting him
livelihood.
into the boat and making money because of the harassing juvenile, bad-tempered, hungry.
Oh, you bad.
Oh, man.
You can't blame them.
My
They're
favorite
like,
story.
They're smart enough. They figured out. They're like, great.
They're not going away.
Hey, everything is based on echolocation though with whales. So there has to be a way.
And herring.
Yeah, but the echolocation. Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Like bats.
Yeah. So there's got to be a way to scramble it, where it's an unattractive noise or it's an unattractive.
They tried that. It turned into a dinner bell. They tried. They got used to it.
They're not trying the right way. Then there's got to be another way to do it.
The boat leaves the harbor. The whales intercept the
They're
boats.
like, oh yeah, come on out.
I was a little peckish. They follow the boat out to the fishing grounds. They do their dirty work, and then the boat comes home empty and spent all that gas for no apparent reason.
I feel so awful for the fishermen, but I'm still just laughing.
70 miles.
Shaking you down for your fish, the marauding killer whales.
70 miles.
No, but you can see them. You can see them just, we're patient.
This is like
We're
kids.
going to drop. We're patient.
Kids with an ice cream truck, and they just don't stop. They just chase you down till they take your ice cream.
Unfortunately, that is pretty much the case.
Get out of work, it says here.
A Faraday cage. I haven't heard about one of these forever.
Oh.
Now, I'll explain it because I had to reread it too to figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom Colella. He's an electrician.
Yep.
Works for a company.
Yep.
And he just had a hearing in front of the Fair Work Commission in Australia. He was fired for good cause, and he had been fired. And he said, no, and he, contested it, and that's why he went before the commission.
Right.
He had been ditching work while on the clock, and he had hidden his whereabouts from his employer by MacGyvering a Faraday cage out of an empty bag of twisties. Now, as you see from this, these are twisties.
Wait a minute.
It is an innocent-looking bag.
Oh, it's the bag.
That has crunchy corn snacks.
Right.
Well, let's step up. A Faraday cage is named for a 19th century scientist, Michael Faraday, who it blocks electromagnetic fields. Now, Faraday found that an enclosure, like in this case the foil-lined interior of the cheesy corn snack bag, can keep out the charges if there's enough conductive material.
All right, so you're saying that all the workers carry like a fob.
He carries a company-mandated GPS-enabled personal digital assistant in his bag.
That's a nice way of saying
A leash, electronic leash. Yeah. So, and they're required to have it all the time so they can kind of clock their activity, make sure they're where they're supposed to be and they're doing what they're supposed to do.
So he takes it.
Well, he figured out that the bag would work properly as a Faraday cage, which prevented the PDA from working properly, especially, as they say, the provision of the GPS coordinate updates, meaning he would throw his personal assistant into the bag.
Right.
And then he would drive around, sit at the park, go home, watch some TV, take a nap.
Wow.
And then go back out and clock out again.
The cage is actually used by some corporations so that when you go into board meetings and stuff, everybody takes their phone and they put it in something that looks like a microwave, and it's got the right metals around it and stuff, and they shut it, and it keeps anybody from accessing or doing anything or eavesdropping on the deal. And also, they put computer systems inside of them, like whole rooms. So you're elevated off the floor.
Yeah.
You got the right metals all the way around you, and when you walk in,
Well, here's the thing that's
gone.
so funny. He's not the only one who did it. It's called This English Bar. That's the name of the bar. The owner hated cell phones so much. They pissed him off so much because he just thought, my waiters can never take your order because you're staring at your cell phone, and then you want to make them take selfies with you and take pictures of the food.
they're not talking anymore and having a pub
He
experience.
lined all of the ceiling and his walls in his pub with copper wire and tin foil. He said, there will be no cell phones in my bar.
Oh my gosh.
And he said, I think this is going to be the new way forward for restaurants and bars and clubs.
Because you can do it in your own home with Wi-Fi, just by unplugging it.
Isn't that funny?
But they also have other systems where you can just command it on your phone, and everybody has to put the phones down. There's a commercial out right now, and actually look at each other.
Oh yeah, the mom thing with the Comcast. Yeah,
Right.
Isn't that funny? No, but they've talked about this for years, how frustrating it is, because you and I were both servers in college, and you know how much time it takes, and you know how to move and get tables in and out and get your tips and blah, blah, blah. They said that cell phones have destroyed the dining experience, and they've extended the stay at the table by over an hour. And for a restaurant, your whole thing is to get the tables moved. Even in a nice higher-end one, you're trying to get as many tables filled as you can. And what they were finding is servers have to go back repeatedly now to go,
Get
have
out.
you made a decision? Have you made a decision? And they haven't even ordered yet. So it takes them a good 20, 30 minutes longer to order. Once they do, then the server is also delayed at the table because people are insisting on taking photos of the food, and they want the servers to take selfies of them with the food so they can all pose and go, look at, we're foodies. And then they're all still looking on their phones as they're finishing, texting it. And they say literally it's killing the restaurant business because that extra hour for each table is like crushing their ability to turn over tables and make money.
Well, if it's an average restaurant, and let's say the meals are $15, right?
Yeah.
You got a table of 6.
Say TGIF or something,
and,
yeah.
And the tip you get is pretty decent. And then you're not allowed another group of people for an hour. So you're not making any money.
Oh, I remember so many times having people sit and talk at the table, and I'm like, go talk in your car.
Right. Go make out.
Talk in your car.
Get in your
And
car.
for hours, and you're like, please. So yeah,
Right.
but now it's the curse of the cell phone. So that's what everyone's going to do now. They're all going to tin foil their entire
Just
restaurant.
wear the hat. It still
Almost as
works.
good.
It's old school,
And
but
it's,
it
and
works.
it's a fashion statement.
If you're still putting up your Christmas lights and stuff, we haven't started yet, and you say this year, yeah, bring it. I just want to warn you that this is on top of the avenues, and his name is Frosty. He does this every year. And
18th Avenue, 805 East.
we just ran up, and I just ran up with my camera. This is Todd TV, and just ran around to give you some kind of. It doesn't even give you the scope, but anyway, you guys have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow on the Todd and Erin morning stream on GetPartDaily.com. Let the Christmas lights begin.